Oh my God, Becky. Brandblack is back. No, but that's not it. That's not the intro, okay? That's just a joke. If you see this, it was not intended as the intro. Hey, what's good, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel, and today we got a detailed look at these bad boys right over here, and these are the Brandblack Tarantulas. So, it's been a little while since we've heard from Brandblack. They've been, not away, but they've just been busy doing other things, lifestyle things. The last running shoe that I grabbed from them, at least I believe this is a running shoe, because you can't really tell right now. Running and lifestyle kind of have merged almost. It's really weird. But these guys right here, this is the Kite Racer. The name makes me think that it's a running shoe, and the tech as well. For the record, if you like the bounciest of all time, go grab a pair of these, because whoa, I felt like I was like in spring shoes. You know the moon shoes, the Nickelodeon moon shoes? Remember that? That's how these feel. At least that's how I think those feel in my mind. I was never able to get a pair when I was a kid. So this is the last runner, I believe, that they've done, and now this is the newest one. Look at the difference. Things have slimmed down a bit, for the better. And these guys right here, they have a lot of stuff going on, even though they look fairly minimal, so I'm gonna break it all down. First things first, look at that. Know what that is?
Traction for days?
Sure. I was gonna say it's a Vibram outsole. I wanna say Vibram, because that's how it's spelled. Anyways, we got Vibram, oops, I already it up. We have Vibram everywhere, and in case you did not know where the Vibram was, they say it on all the panels. It says right there, right there, right there, and right there. Now, Vibram is supposed to be super grippy and very durable. This side right here, actually, it has the cool little tag, and something that I thought was dope is that they talked about the Vibram compound. It's trail ready, which is interesting because that does not look like a trail outsole, you know what I mean? Like this looks like a regular pavement outsole. Rapid response, and this is XS Trek. Don't know what that means. It says it's best for mountaineering, hiking, approach. What's that mean? Trail running, mountain biking. Huh, I didn't know that you needed specific rubber for that. Guess you don't slip off the pedals.
Ooh, then I need a pair of those.
For real. Outdoor water sports. Oh, really? Winter sports. Moto cycling. Not motor, but moto. I don't know what that is either. Apparently I'm uncultured. Military and law enforcement, which I guess is true. I've seen the Vibram branding on, you know, combat boots. And Vibram is probably most known nowadays for their 5-finger shoes. That I don't know if those are still around.
I think that's like how they started out. They got like their name in the game.
That's what I mean. Like they're most known for the 5-finger glove shoe, but they've been around since before. They provide rubber for all kinds of companies and all that stuff. And this particular rubber outsole is great for all of those things. I'm assuming that all of their outsoles are. So this should be a multi-surface type of rubber right here. None of that blown rubber stuff, or it's like super soft and super cushy and gets blown out super fast. This guy right here, it should last a while, at least according to itself. It does feel a lot firmer than anything that I've felt in recent years. Anything from Nike, New Balance, Under Armour. Under Armour likes the blown rubber stuff. The main thing though that kind of like draws me to the shoe, other than the look itself, because I think that these are fresh, man. Like these are really cool looking. But the main thing is the Supercritical Jetlon. So for those of you guys that don't know, Jetlon's been part of Brandblack's history for quite some time, since the beginning. These guys right here feature what they call Supercritical Jetlon. Spells it out for you right there. What is Supercritical Jetlon? It's quite interesting, actually. It is very similar to what people know as Skechers Burst, which I had no idea what that was, okay? I don't really pay attention to Skechers, but we had reviewed these guys right here with their quick foam, and I thought that these were really weird, and it's got that packing peanut looking stuff for a midsole, and everybody's like, nah, man, that looks just like Skechers Burst. So I went and looked it up, and then there was a video that talked about how exactly it was made, which is fascinating, and it essentially is packing peanuts or packing material, but they recycle it. And then I ended up hitting up David, who's the co-owner, co-founder, and the designer of these Brandblack shoes, and I was like, hey, is there any correlation? Because there used to be some small ties between Brandblack and Skechers, which there is not anymore. And basically he was saying that, yeah, it is overall the same stuff. Obviously their blends are a little bit different, and that's something that you can visually see in these guys, especially if you're comparing it to the quick foam and that 361 shoe side by side. This one, you can see that the air pockets are very, very tiny versus the 361 shoe, which are way bigger, you know what I mean? Like they're super apparent. These guys right here, they feel pretty good. I did not like the shoe playing in it, like they chewed up my feet in the front. These things right here, they actually don't feel like those. So that's what I was kind of expecting. I was expecting to step into these and feel kind kind of a little bit of a mush but bounce, and it wasn't like that. It was a little bit of a firmer ride, so I think that this is going to be something that will last you a lot longer and absorb the impact sooner than later. I think that this is supposed to like break in and all of that stuff the more that you wear it. Like you can actually feel it in hand. It's just on foot. It's not quite as mushy as I thought that it might be. Something that I do think is really interesting though is that I think that they're going to use very similar stuff like this in their basketball shoes, because there's a Rare Metal 2 coming up, which I'm super excited about. So real interesting stuff coming from Brandblack in the future. This is just their first launch, and I don't know, man, if the basketball stuff is anything like this, I'm stoked. Now, one of the cool things is this weird top line, and that kind of acts as the heel counter. What is really interesting though is that they kept all the weight down by making it foam, so there's no TPU on that stuff. Well, technically foam is a type of TPU, but it's a foam, it's not plastic. It's just enough to keep you on there and do its job without kind of like restricting and adding a bunch of extra weight, which is pretty cool. And then the upper itself is very interesting, and it's basically a layered build. So the base layer is what they consider or call a mono mesh. It's very open-celled mesh, lots of airflow, lots of ventilation. Actually, when these were sent my way, thank you to Brandblack, by the way, for sending these over, but when they were sent my way, they said to wear them without socks first. I did not do that because that is sacrilegious. It's gross. If you do that, that's cool. I'm not judging. I'm just saying I can't do that. My feet get too sweaty. Now, the top layer is where all of the structure and security comes from, where it's this TPU coated yarn. So all of this looks like a screen mesh. And then on top of that, they reinforced it with more stitching and everything. And that's where you get that kind of tarantula web look. And I just think it looks really cool. There's also a little bit of reflectiveness right here. That little blue guy right there from Brandblack, or that says Brandblack, that is actually reflective. It's on both pairs. That's the only reflective piece that I saw. So if you're running at night, make sure that a car sees you from the side. Like turn a little bit and do like those side things that you do on football fields and stuff.
If you're running at night, you should be wearing more pieces to be noticed than just your shoes.
Some people don't know that, man. Some people are newbies like me. You know what I mean? We're wearing basketball shorts and tank tops out there, man.
Are you running in the street with traffic as well?
I don't know. I'm trying to feel real fast, going up against cars and everything.
Okay, runner's note. You're supposed to run against traffic.
Against traffic? Really?
Yeah, so that way you can see if somebody's about to be an idiot and plow into you.
But when you and I go running, we never run against traffic. We always run with traffic.
Because we stay on the sidewalks, but say if you...
Oh, you're talking about if you're on like the gutter? Fun fact, don't get hit by a car. The tongue is super lightweight, also states the tarantula branding on there. And for those of you guys that are actually going to be using these for performance, so for running purposes, not for lifestyle purposes, but you could do both. But if you're going to be a runner in them, look at that guy right there. That is awesome. You know what I'm looking at?
That nice wide toe box.
So I recently, because of the pandemic, picked up some running, right? With you. You're the runner. I'm not. I just play basketball. My basketball fit is narrow or snug. What I like to consider one-to-one. I like it so that I feel like I am one with the shoe. Now running, man, that's a different thing altogether. You do not want that. You do not. You're going to get bunions. You're going to get corns. You're going to get hammer toes, black toes, all that stuff, man. I could not believe it. So what I learned is that a wider base or a wider fit is preferred. That way you can land, toe splay, feet swell. Only shoe that I ever found that had that comfortable type of fit was a New Balance and a couple of Under Armours. But look at that, that's gorgeous. Whitish, you can feel it too. When you put the shoe on, it's just airy, open, light, mesh, all that stuff, man. So if you like that type of fit in your runner, go with these. Also, go true to size, by the way. There is a little bit of that finger space in between the toe and the tip of the shoe, but again, for running purposes, I think that that's fantastic. If you're gonna use these for lifestyle and you do want that one-to-one fit, you should be good going down half a size, just because the upper is so light, just different layers of mesh, so you won't feel like
claustrophobic?
Yeah, claustrophobic, like your feet are getting crushed. Like you won't feel like that, like you would in like a leather shoe or a TPU-based shoe. But yeah, this is an interesting shoe.
What I think is interesting is, as beautiful as our studio here is, off camera it's kind of a mess. And so...
Well, it's also a garage. So, yeah, you know, movie magic.
But so we had a pile of shoes sitting there, and I just think it's interesting how trendy right now certain colors are, because these shoes were sitting there. The KD13s that you had designed have a similar color. The Nike tennis shoes we just did, they literally all look like they could have been like, hey, here's our next lineup, if you took away the branding.
I think that's part of that fashion week thing though, is that they go over all of that stuff where like, hey, this is the upcoming trends and these are the upcoming colors, so any of you design people want to make your apparel or your footwear trendy and eye-catching. That's a thing, because there's always a color of a year or a season. Like Jordan Brand does it all the time. We're like, we're gonna use Concord, aka purple, and we're gonna use it and span it across 15 different models within 6 months.
Yes.
You know, and you're just like, okay, so I guess it's purple season. And that's what it's like right now, where Volt is back again. It's never out of style. It's been an ongoing thing since like 2008. And this one, it pairs it perfectly, in my opinion, with this really bright flashy pink and this really cool blue. I personally love these two colors together. And then when you throw that Volt in there, it just gives it an extra flair that just screams late 80s, early 90s. I love it. I'm very curious to know what this Supercritical Jetlon feels like the more that you wear it, especially in motion and not just in your kitchen.
So you're gonna join me tomorrow? Oh.
The running thing, man, I did it for a while.
He did.
And my knees can't do it. I have very little cartilage in there, and it lets me know every morning, hey, save that. So that's what I'm doing. Especially now that I can play in certain areas. Some of the gyms are not wood. They're like weird concrete, or I'm outside on a blacktop and my knees can hate me. They just do. I'm so excited for the LeBrons. You don't even know, man. It's that shoe where I'm like, these could save my legs just for a little bit.
Those $265 LeBrons.
Hey, that's a...
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that is a Nike pricing problem. I don't think they realize that we're in the middle of a pandemic, because Nike's just still raking in all that money. Anyways, that takes care of it for these guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. I believe these released this week.
Ooh.
So yeah, if you're interested in grabbing a pair, my size recommendation again is true to size for runners, down half a size for casual use if you want a snug fit. Other than that, let us know what you think about them down below in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you guys. So until next time, guys, have a good one.